5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We about to have a blast today.
Hello, all you happy people.
Let's do a junkie roll call.
Sound off like you got a pair.
The great Daddy Coochie.
What country you from? What ain't no country I ever heard of?
And she probably still got an old school TV.
Why do you say this to me?
I'm the only girl, so I wanted to do anything that my brothers were doing.
Oh, yeah, you blend.
She's cute too, huh?
Indeed!
That's fine. Just give us a second.
She with you?
The film was just lazy. Like I said, they like vision.
But you got to have vision.
I'm a big JRPG person.
We've just lost half the audience.
Supposed to be full. Oh, why?
But he'd have to be fast. I'm your man.
No, you're not. You're too slow.
It ain't just about being fast.
I did not see one Asian in that movie.
Let's not stand on ceremony here.
It's a business. Who cares about the people's feelings?
Aim for the bushes.
I could do this all day.
I got big boy pants on!
What's going on out there, Junkie Land? It's Kenshiro. We're back with Culture Junkies Live, and we're fresh off of seeing Batman the Killing Joke. But beyond that, we also had a very awesome weekend. We had San Diego Comic-Con and a whole bunch of really exciting surprises. We had movie trailers. We had season previews for TV shows. And the crew also went to go and see Star Trek Beyond on Friday, so we're going to talk about that as well. We're also going to have a special guest with us. We're going to have Prodigy from Blacker Than Black Times Infinity podcast. He's located in California, and he also went to San Diego Comic-Con this past weekend, so he's going to give us his thoughts on everything out there. But first, let me introduce who's going to be joining the show with us today. Of course, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. GQ, with that nice long katana in the back, in the background. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. This katana actually is probably taller than most women that I've dated, so I'll just give you perspective.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show tonight. So
it is going to be
everybody
a great
make sure you tune in and use the hashtag Junkies Talk. Get on the show.
That's right. Get on the show. It is going to be awesome. And also joining us is from Dark Knight News, and we got this covered. Mr. Eric Joseph. He was also my guest for Batman: The Killing Joke. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing all right.
Just all right.
Yeah. I think my apartment's starting to cool off. I had no AC, so I got to write all the nice San Diego Comic-Con news up over the weekend in like a 90-degree tomb.
Nice. Also joining us, of course, and he stayed at home like a fool. The Big Kahuna. What's going on, my friend?
What up, though, everybody? I ain't staying home right now.
Oh yeah, he was probably out catching Pokemon. That's it.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie in the comforts of my own home.
Nothing wrong with that. We also got the great Dadakuji joining us. What's going on, my friend?
Gosh, I can't stand when computers reset everything. Hey.
Right. So anyway, our special guest is going to join us eventually. He's not here just yet, but he will be right along. So let's go ahead and jump right in to the main topic of the show. Well, one of the three main topics of the show. We're going to spend a few minutes on it. We're going to talk about Batman: The Killing Joke. Now, it started off as just being a one-night special event, and then it started to be 2 nights. So you knew that interest was there. And I just heard while we were there, it's actually been spread to being the entire week. Now, obviously the demand is there. We saw the film, so I'll give my brief 2 cents on it. I thought the film was really good. Some of the controversial parts in it were kind of overblown, but whatever. So I'm gonna turn it over to you guys really quickly. Tell me what you guys thought about the show. GQ, let's start with you. What did you think about Batman: The Killing Joke?
Killing Joke was cool. The issue I had with it, they're starting to give out the R rating like it's candy. That movie did not necessarily deserve an R rating. It deserved a don't take your kids to see it, which to me signifies PG-13. Once you get past the 13-year-old age, you should have already seen some stuff anyway. Realistically, though, sitting in that movie is like, okay, they gave it an R rating just for the shock factor. Same as they gave an R rating to Batman v Superman's extended edition. Nothing in that movie made it truly R rated. So, I like the movie. I will always forever be appreciative of Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. playing Batman and Joker respectively. I'm sorry, every time I read those characters' pages or panels or lines, I hear their voices and no one else's. So, yeah, I mean, I saw it based on that alone. That's all you needed to get me into the theater. So I enjoyed it. It was a good theatrical experience. It was cool to see it with, obviously a bunch of other fans in the theater. So that experience is always fun. But other than that, R rating didn't deserve.
Okay, you didn't think it deserved the R rating. All right. Daikuchi, what do you think of the film?
Being the fact that I never read the comic for Killing Joke, and I've grown up, I only heard what happened. It was kind of interesting to see how it was. I really enjoyed the story. I think it was kind of cool that in order to make the story a little bit longer, they added on, I think, probably like a half hour of stuff that didn't pertain or wasn't in the comic at all. And that's, it was still good storytelling. But I agree with GQ. I believe Red Hood had way more violence in it. I think they gave the rated R because of the sex scene, which you didn't really see anything. You see some kissing in the camera pan up. So I quite enjoyed the movie, and part of me, even though it's not going to happen, part of me feels like I want to go see it every day for this entire week so I can vote with my dollars to show them, hey, look, we like these. Keep doing it. But that's a little unrealistic for me.
And Mr. Eric Joseph, what did you think of the film, real quick?
I really liked it. Not the best Batman animated movie, but it's definitely up there. The latter portion of the film, which was an adaptation of the comic book, was spot on. They added a few things here and there, not too much. The whole thing with the prologue really fleshed out the character of Barbara Gordon more, made it a well-rounded story. Everything worked within the context of the film, and we'll probably touch on it in a minute. But yeah, I'll just say that people who wrote manifestos online that would make Ted Kaczynski blush based on a 10-second GIF they saw on Twitter, when you didn't see how the sex scene worked within the context of the film and you got the mindset of the characters, yeah, it made sense. And then especially if you see the mid-credit scene where, I mean, spoiler, she becomes Oracle. Everyone knows how the story goes. But it gave Barbara a well-rounded arc as opposed to just being someone who got shot in the graphic novel. But yeah, it was a great movie, and I applaud WB Animation once again because they don't really steer us wrong very often.
No, they really don't. And so with that, let's move on, I guess, to a little bit. What did we think this is going to do for the animated movies? Now, we know Mask of the Phantasm started, the animated movies being in the theater. It didn't do so well performance-wise, but of course that was seemingly a lifetime ago now. Now we fast forward, and comic book movies are all the rage, and now we've got this R-rated, Batman film in the theaters. Do we think that maybe this might turn the tide and they might start showing some animated films in the theater again? GQ, I'm going to go to you. What do you think?
Well, I'm going to turn a little bit of my time over to Kahuna because he didn't get a chance to say anything.
Oh, he sure didn't. You're right. I kind of discounted him because he didn't see it in the theater like we should have. But, not to be biased or anything like that. Oh, there's Prodigy from Black and then Black Times Infinity. Hey, my friend, how you doing? Introduce yourself to the crew. We're live right now. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, what's up, fam? So sorry for being on CP time. What's up, y'all?
That's all right. How you doing? So we'll come right back to you and get your thoughts about about Batman the Killing Joke. So just hang on a second real quick. Kahuna, go. What did you think of the film? Did you like it? Did you not like it?
First off, I hope the straps on your sandals get cut off for discounting me.
Whatever.
Second of all, it was a good movie. I think more so I was disappointed by like what Dadakuji and GQ said. I didn't see anything rated R at all, and I think that's what probably disappointed me the most. Was there was the little scene with Barbara and took her shirt off, panned away. That was it. Some blood splatter, so it didn't warrant a rated R at all. So I think that's what I was most disappointed by. But the story was good. The animation was good, And like GQ said, I think what I really enjoyed about it was hearing Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill's voice. That was awesome.
That it was. All right, so Prodigy, I'm gonna turn it over to you. What did you think about Batman: The Killing Joke?
So, here's the thing. I enjoyed a whole lot of this. I was at the panel at San Diego Comic-Con, and what they said with, the director and Conway and Tara Strong, everybody on there, was that they had to add a whole lot of content because the graphic novel wasn't enough to make a feature film out of. So all that backstory with Batgirl was brand new. Everybody who's read the 28-year-old graphic novel, we know that that wasn't in there. The controversy when it comes to Batman, are we doing spoilers? Is that all good?
We kind of already talked about it, and I think it's kind of out there. So yeah, go ahead.
It's a 28-year-old friggin' graphic novel. If you haven't read it by now, then
cool.
Well, yeah,
by all means.
Okay, so the spoilers out there. Batman hooks up with Batgirl, and to me that was fine because it gave the story more weight. I hated the villain that they used for Batgirl. Was it Paris, France, or whatever? I thought that was just kind of weak.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we were all waiting for the Joker, and we get some two-bit gangster pimp dude that just didn't matter for anything. So that was unnecessary. But I liked a lot of what was going on here. I felt like they handled, the violence against her correctly from the graphic novel, and at the very end to showcase her being Oracle was what we all needed to see and what we all wanted. And you can't have Oracle without going through the tragedy of what she went through in the Killing Joke. Okay.
So now I'll move on to the second part of my question and what I was going to get to. Initially, really briefly, before we got to move on, does anybody think that the performance of this film, and now that it's going to be stretched out for a week, do we think that there might be showing some more DC animated films in the theater now moving forward? GQ, I'll go back to you.
Well, real quick, I mean, Q in the chat is actually kind of bringing that up as well. He says Killing Joke has got his interest in the cinema. It all depends on the box office result, of course, which he thinks is going to be decent this week. And I also agree with that sentiment. I think Killing Joke is going to perform well. I mean, again, like you said, it was only going to be a one-night special engagement. They stretched it out to a week. And the thing, the Blu-ray literally comes out next week. So it's like, hey, that's a good indicator. It's
right.
Like, hey, stress from one night to boom, we're going to have a full-on special engagement. Obviously, more money for Warner Brothers and the producers and the studios and yada, yada, yada. So it's like, hey, maybe we should start looking at some of our other animations, which have been, like Eric said, excellent for so far. I mean, a few misfires here and there, but not very many. So that's something that they should do. I mean, it could only be more money for them. Let's be realistic. Animation is cool, but if it's not on TV with sponsors, you're not getting a ton of money out of it. So putting it in the theaters is a good help, and I think it'd be a smart move to maybe put them out a month before they come out for real on Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
Then that way you don't have that literal, I'll just wait till next week. This time it's like, no, make an event out of it, bring it out like a month or so in advance. Whatever money you get is almost pure profit at that sense, because realistically you're gonna be able to resell it or add some extras to the Blu-ray or whatever.
Right. What it'd be? I think even as a marketing ploy, I think if they charge a little bit extra, say they charge the full price for the film itself, and it came with your ticket came with like a voucher for you to buy or get the actual regular copy in whatever store you want to go get it at. I think that they might be able to do something with that. Kahuna, because you didn't see it in the theater, would them showing some of these films in the theater, like if they had shown Justice League: The Flashpoint Paradox in the theaters, would you have paid money to go see it in the theaters then?
Yeah. I think it's good. I mean, I think they should put more DC animation in the theaters.
Okay, Eric. What about
the DC animated movies. I've always enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I've got them all. And I've watched them all. So, I enjoy them.
Okay. Well, Eric, what about you? What do you think? Do you think briefly? Do you think that they should put more of the movies in the theaters?
Yeah. the geek culture today is so much different than it was in 1993 for Mask of the Phantasm, when that film, pretty much bombed. But that was like a full-blown wide theatrical release, whereas this is a limited engagement. But what I think these work as, because we know so many of these animated films are so amazing, but the fact is when they're on DVD, their sales don't touch live action movies. So it really is the diehards or the curious crowd, and that's what we saw in the theater today. Those were all diehard fans without
exactly
no one like, oh, I heard about this Batman the Killing Joke. What I think they'll do is they'll possibly do more of these, but as limited engagements and for the films they know will draw a crowd. Because, they do 3 of these films a year, and next year the slate consists of Justice League Dark, Teen Titans, The Judas Contract, and Batman and Harley Quinn. I think Batman and Harley Quinn would be the only one they do this for, because those are 2 characters they know are going to sell tickets, and it's going to drop. It's their summer release, so it would happen, at the same time as The Killing Joke. But maybe do it a few weeks ahead of the Blu-ray, not like a week before, because some people might have even skipped this event saying, hey, I can buy this in a week. But yeah, it is good for animated films, and hopefully it adds more legitimacy to what many of us already know is great, and hopefully more people join us.
Right. I totally agree with that, and I hope that they do end up moving in that direction. So real quick, before we move on,
you got to mention out of the chat before you move on.
Well, actually, I was about to turn it over to the chat, my friend. So since you provided with me that nice little transition, why don't you please go right ahead? What are they saying in the chat? Please, what are they saying?
All right, we got the Hand of Omega, and from what it looks like, he likes the movie, but what he says, which I think is hilarious, is there's no Alan Moore credit because he's still being a little bitch about DC.
Yeah, wow, yeah. They
also,
did kind of
Flashpoint Paradox sucked.
Okay.
He says it like this. Suck!
Yeah, he's totally wrong about that. So GQ, what are they saying over there in Facebook?
Well, Facebook chat froze up a little bit, but last thing I saw, Joseph Lindley was saying that he enjoyed Son of Batman, was one of his favorite ones, and he would have definitely liked to see that in the theater. Honestly, Red Hood would have set it off for me. If they would have put Red Hood in the theater, I think that would have just showed people that, hold on, DC animation is freaking awesome. If they would have threw Red Hood in the theaters when that first came out, dude, I'm pretty sure they could have put almost every single one after that, because people would have been hooked in, because Red Hood was no joke. And
still my favorite.
That's still one of my favorites.
Right. Exactly.
Red Hood could have been an example of like, hey, this isn't just for kids. This is awesome. Come in and see some of these things. And I think if they would have put that one in back, what was it, 2008, 9 or whatever, that would have actually, dude, they could have been knocking them out of the park, like Eric said. Maybe a summer release for, some of the special ones, because even Justice League War would have been very cool. That would have been a good way to show, hey, Superman isn't just Christopher Reeve Superman. That would have maybe warmed people up a little bit to the portrayal of Man of Steel, because a little bit of that was in there. So it's benefits to them. It's benefit. So they may as well do it. Why not?
Right. Prodigy, what would you have paid to go and see in the movie theaters if you had a chance to go and see it?
This may sound a little controversial because I know he's a polarizing figure, but anything with Damian Wayne, so Son of Batman, Batman versus Robin, any of those would work real well for me. I would have paid good money to see those in the theaters. We already touched upon Red Hood, that one as well. But you give me anything with Damian Wayne and anything with Teen Titans, and I'm all on board with it. Take my money.
Right. Take your money.
Even if it's a Teen Titans Go movie, which will probably be a little bit more realistic, because you know how much money they're making on the Cartoon Networks.
Right.
Let me defend Teen Titans Go. I went to a lit-ass panel at San Diego Comic-Con about Teen Titans Go. Room was packed. I do mess with that show. You gotta let go of the old Teen Titans and just admit that this one is hilariously funny for juvenile and immature people like myself.
That is exactly what it is. But it could have been any Warner Brother property and still got the same laughs.
Yeah. I totally agree. Okay, guys. So that was Batman the Killing Joke. If you guys haven't seen it yet, it's out tomorrow on digital. I think it comes out on Blu-ray later this month or like next week or something
Yep.
like that. Okay, guys need to
Comes
go
out on
ahead.
the second.
Comes out
Right
on
before,
August 2nd.
yeah, on the second. Yep.
So
right
that's
before Suicide.
yeah,
Squad.
that's next week
Suicide
Tuesday.
Squad.
Suicide Squad. So anyway, guys, let's move real quick, really briefly. Let's spend a few minutes talking about Star Trek Beyond. That also debuted on Friday, and there was a Culture Junkies event. Many of the guys went to go and see Star Trek Beyond, and many of the reactions have been pretty positive. So I'm gonna go ahead and Prodigy. I know you didn't see it, but one person who just joined the show finally after having a few troubles with her little kitty has finally joined the show. Krusty,
Sounds so nerdy.
Hey
right?
guys.
What's up, girl? What's up, girl? Having little kitty cat problems, eh?
My cat. Today's my husband's birthday, and I made him some.
Happy birthday, Borat!
Happy
Thank
birthday, Borat.
you.
Yeah.
But my cat thought it would be a good idea to knock literally everything off the table. And there's glasses. There's broken glass on the floor. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I already hate my dog. Now I hate
Right.
my cat.
You need to just get rid of all the furries. Get rid of all the furries in your house because they're giving too much trouble. No, I have nothing against pets, but if they're giving you trouble, maybe you might need to do anything. Anyway, so tell us what you thought about Star Trek Beyond. What did you think about Star Trek Beyond?
I love Star Trek. It was amazing, and I
Okay.
was so happy to be in the theater and watch it. So I didn't know Idris Elba was in it, but after I saw him at the end, I was pretty happy because that's my future ex-husband.
Damn.
Where have I heard that before?
Right. That's the gist of your comment, that you loved it because Idris Elba was in it and you were happy that there's nothing else?
Well, no, I was happy to relive, the original series again with the characters, and then what's his name, Anton Yelchin, he
Yeah.
passed away.
Yeah.
A cute little for Anton at the end.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, there was. Yeah, there was.
Good movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie. Kahuna, you didn't get to see it, so I guess you'll have to sit this one out. Isn't that right? You didn't get to see it yet, right?
Nope, I didn't see it yet.
Okay, all right.
You had to catch them all, man.
Yeah. Dido, what'd you think of Star Trek?
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you something. Listen, it's the best one out of the reboots. Period.
Okay.
I like the first one because it did. Even though a lot of people claim that the first rebooted one is not Star Trek, too much action, not enough Star Trek in it. Yeah, okay, whatever. It was Star Trek with a fresh coat of paint, made for today's days. Kind of like how Ghostbusters is, but I digress on that. It's better. It had a really good original story. I like the camaraderie. They really wrote it. Simon Pegg and I forgot the other guy wrote it, where you could really feel that they have been together, been through some things, and they really had that tight knit going on. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed some of the music, that if you're really listening to the music, it kind of had some feel of the old 60s show, which was kind of cool throwback. And one particular part where I was a little bit giddy, and it was a very minute part, is when Kirk asked Uhura to do something and she flipped some switches. I'm like, holy shit, they went back to the physical switches, kind of like back in the old 60s show. So they were trying really hard to capture the feel of the 60s show, but keep it in the rebooted, realm. And I really enjoyed what they did with it. And if Simon Pegg continues to write it, and Justin Lin, I believe that's his name, did a great job directing it, and I think he did a better job than J.J. Abrams, because first off, no lens flares, so that was kind of cool. Yeah. And if that's a spoiler to you guys out there, by all means, I just consider yourself spoiled. No lens flares.
Krusty said there was one.
There was. Well, I guess I didn't pay attention to it. So if there was a lens flare, maybe it was just a sparkle in your eye for Idris Elba, because I don't remember.
Maybe.
But I think they did a fabulous job. I want them to keep it up. I want to see that way, to do Star Trek that way, because after I read the article that Carl Urban was not going to rejoin because he didn't like how Bones was portrayed, and apparently, and this was in Into the Darkness, where he just didn't like, apparently, a lot of stuff that was going on, and on top of that, he wasn't really contracted to do a third one, and he wasn't going to, but they managed to bring him back, and they gave a great feel. By all means, it was a A+ for me, and definitely going to be bought to put in the collection.
Okay. GQ, real quick, what did you think of Star Trek Beyond?
I enjoyed it. A lot of the same sentiment that Dido has. Same thing here. I hope that Carl Urban comes back because, dude, he's basically DeForest Kelly as a younger dude.
Yes, sir.
In this film. It's like, dude's awesome. It's very unfortunate that Anton Yelchin did have that tragic death. So it's gonna be hard to replace him because he was extremely good as Chekhov. And again, it was one of those situations where you had a perfect storm of cast. Everybody fit their role to a T. And I like some of the shout outs to the old cast. I like the tribute to or Leonard Nimoy. I mean, it's like everything in that film was really good. There was one moment that I thought they were going to lose me and make me walk out of the theater, but thankfully they didn't go that route. So I enjoyed the film. Very good overall. So yeah,
What's that, Krusty?
They're not going to replace Anton Yelchin. They're not going to replace the character.
Yeah. Somehow, what they'll either write Chekhov off or something like that. They'll move past where Chekhov is not part of the crew anymore, which is a shame. Honestly,
He's getting a transfer. It's a different universe, and I bet you that chick, the Jayla, I think her name was, probably gonna. I mean, not necessarily going to, but if they offer something in whatever, I'm not gonna.
No. Yeah. I think I get. I think I know where you're going. Like there may be opportunities for them to replace, Anton Yelchin, which is sad because I really liked him as Chekhov. He brought a sense of charm. I think that even Walter Koenig didn't bring to Chekhov. So, did anybody else out there see Star Trek Beyond before we move on real quick to San Diego Comic-Con? Going once, going twice. Sold. Nobody else saw Star Trek Beyond. So anyway, guys, we're the Culture Junkies, and we do this show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We thank you for joining the show, and we hope that you are enjoying it so far. And we hope that you'll not only share this video that you're watching right now with all your friends, so we can get as many people as we possibly can to join and comment and talk about the show. But also, if you wanted to join the show, hit us with a message on Twitter or right here on our Facebook with the hashtag Junkies Talk, and we'll dial you into the show, and you can call and interact and talk to us, ask us questions, and be on the show, and you'll get to tell us exactly what kind of junkie you are. So GQ, I'm gonna turn it over to you. What's going on over in Facebook? And if you don't mind, Dido, hit up YouTube and Twitch and tell me what they're doing over there.
Well, good friend of ours, Keith Britt, he's saying that he likes lens flares, which,
baffling.
Okay. I mean, it's look, lens flares add a little bit to it, but doggone it, if they cover up the actors' faces and you can't see stuff, then that's too many lens flares. And J.J. Abrams, you do it all the time. I'm thankful that he did not go overboard and overkill in Star Wars with them, but he had an opportunity to do so, and I'm glad he didn't. So, yeah, that's kind of what's going on.
Okay.
In Facebook.
On the Twitter, Twitter. I mean, on the Twitch, not much is being said. You guys over on Twitch, man, share, like, and come on, get to talking. But on Facebook, excuse me.
Too busy. They're too busy gaming while listening.
Apparently, because they're just going nuts on that stuff. But we're getting a hand of Omega. He's basically talking to himself. And he basically says that he didn't like how Idris Elba was covered in makeup and alien language. Same problem with Chris Eccleston in Thor: The Dark World. Why cast as such a distinctive actor if you can't recognize them? And yeah, but we can't say. And he already knows because he went to go see it because giant green hand.
Hold on. This is the Star Trek trope, actually. Anytime you get a minority, you got to throw them in heavy makeup, making them alien.
It does kind of happen quite often.
Well, yeah.
It kind of does. Except for Uhura.
Well, you gotta have one.
Yeah, she got that in Guardians of the Galaxy, but that's okay because that's what
Yeah, you got a point there. Definitely got a point. So, hey guys, it's been a really great show so far, but we're going to move on to what brought everybody out, and that was that massively awesome San Diego Comic-Con that we had happen this past weekend. Our good friend Prodigy from Blacker Than Black Times Infinity has joined us. He was actually there at San Diego Comic-Con, so I want to get him to talk a little bit about his experience. Was it your first time going out to San Diego Comic-Con? And if it was, how did you like it?
Negative. This was my 4th year in a row. So real appreciative for that opportunity. I'm going to start off right off the bat with saying that Luke Cage looks lit as hell. That panel was awesome. Every clip they showed, I was on board. I think the quote was to think about Luke Cage as a Gangstar album, you know, or one of them old Wu-Tang albums from the 90s or whatever. I was like,
let
okay.
me jump in. I think they said every single episode title is a track from a Gangstar album. I think that's what they said, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But the clips look excellent. I mean, you know, I felt just pumped up and ready to watch this from start to finish. I think it started September 30th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But that was super. I was just very impressed. I was a little lukewarm on Iron Fist, and the Defenders was really more of a teaser. You know what I mean? But Marvel impressed me quite a bit with their Netflix stuff, man.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
So let's start. Let's start there, guys. Everybody saw. I mean, as soon as the stuff from the Marvel stuff, as soon as the panels were over, Marvel dropped all their Netflix stuff on the net, and we kind of got to see it. So let's talk briefly about the Marvel Netflix stuff. We saw the Luke Cage trailer. Obviously, we didn't see a lot of the clips that Prodigy did, but we did see the Iron Fist trailer. We saw that Daredevil teaser that they had. But what stood out to you the most about the Marvel Netflix shows, GQ? What that you saw? What stood out to you? I mean, I know you haven't really seen any of them before, but what'd you like about what you saw?
No, I mean, I enjoyed the Luke Cage one. It has its own feel. It has its own flavor, so to speak. I definitely enjoyed the fact that it's another hallway fight scene, which is fine. I have no problem. I have no problem with that. But I like the fact that each show has its own identity, and I think that's probably the best way to say it. Each show has its own true feel. It's like, look, if you watch Luke Cage, you're gonna get gritty, you're gonna get action, you're gonna get the hip hop flavor. You're in New York with it, and then you go to Iron Fist, it's probably going to have a whole different take on it. It'll be grounded within the same fact that, hey, he's a street level character, but it'll still have its own feel. Same thing with Jessica Jones, same thing with Daredevil, and Defenders is going to bring them all together a la Avengers. So I think with Marvel basically having that, they've already got that groundwork laid. They've done it once before and they were extremely successful with it. I think with the Netflix shows having a more mature adult feel, it's going to be almost like you're getting an adult Avengers, so to speak. And it's going to be very interesting to see when that all comes together. The only issue I have with it, and again, Prodigy lives in California, so I mean it's easier for him to just, hit San Diego, more often. I've been to San Diego once before, years ago. It's almost become, and I think social media has almost spoiled it, you kind of don't necessarily have to go. Now, granted, there's always going to be things that you will not see on the net at the same way that people at San Diego saw it, in person. But it's almost like, unless you get the exclusive merchandise or some of the things that like you can get out of the dealer's room, you almost don't need to go sometimes, unless you just have to be there, because everything just gets leaked out or basically put out on the internet within hours. So I have no problem with that. It's cool. It's a good way for people to be aware of what's going on. But I almost miss the era when, if you were at San Diego personally and you saw some of those exclusive trailers and this and that, you pretty much were the only person that knew about them until months later. But hey, times change.
Yep.
Indeed. What about you, Daito? What did you like the most about? Actually, no. I'm sorry. Hold on, Daito. We haven't heard from him in a while. Kahuna. What did you think about the stuff that you saw from the Netflix, the Marvel Netflix stuff? What did you like the best?
I enjoyed the Luke Cage. That was hype. I mean, hearing that what was it, Old Dirty Bastard?
Mm-hmm. Oh baby, I like it raw. Yeah.
Yeah, that got me hype. I mean, if they're gonna be playing, that throughout the whole series, that's gonna be a lit series.
Man.
I was enjoying it.
Yeah, man.
I like the little teaser. I like the way they did the Daredevil season 3 teaser. The Defenders trailer, that was, I mean, it was just a little teaser thing for that too. What else did they show?
Iron Fist.
Yeah, Iron Fist. Iron Fist wasn't, you really didn't have anything from that at all. So I can't really say it was anything.
All right.
But,
Sorry for that little interruption there, Dido. Your turn. What did you like about the Marvel Netflix stuff?
You guys. Going back and forth with the sandals and the whatnots, man. You guys are crazy.
Wow.
You guys are crazy.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'm
Leave
talking about
my sandals out of here. Leave my sandals out of this. Leave my
Hey,
sandals
I'm not talking about the sandals, Mike.
Leave my sandals out of this. Go ahead.
Well,
what are you going to say?
We're talking about some Netflix. And,
yeah.
Okay, look. Netflix has been putting on some great shows. That's all I got to say. And with the help of Marvel, of course, because, without Marvel, you don't have anything. And I'm really glad. I wish Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. would get put on the Netflix because I like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I think it could be so much more if it was not on ABC. That being said, I caught the Luke Cage one. I pissed myself, almost. Not really, not at all. I just thought about it, but not at all. I went to the bathroom because that's where you go to pee. But regardless of that, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was great. Luke Cage, to me, it just seemed like from the beginning, and I hope they do not take 12 episodes for him to realize that he should go out there and fight crime. I really, because I like Daredevil, I like Jessica Jones, I liked all those, but it seemed like besides Daredevil, what she was doing throughout the whole entire series, it just seemed like some of the build-up takes a little bit too long. We don't have all day here. You only got 13 episodes. They're all there all at the same time. You can sit and watch them all in a day. Get to the nitty-gritty and stretch that stuff out. Iron Fist looked a little boring. He might not be boring. The teaser looked boring. He looked like a bum. That's all. I couldn't read anything off of that. And I didn't look at anything from the Defenders because it's so far away. They don't have anything about it. Teasers, I don't care for teasers. I like trailers. I like some substance. And Luke Cage showed me that substance. I'm excited again, like I was last year, like I was earlier this year, for all the stuff that Marvel's putting on. Only thing that I want, and I've told you guys before, is I want them to connect the movies. If you're going to have a cinematic universe, do it all the way. Because you got smaller stories on smaller screen, you got bigger stories, they don't have to have, coming in walking roles. They don't have to be speaking roles, but mention Spider-Man and Daredevil. Have them swinging in a damn background, and it's just like a friggin', Easter egg. Do shit like that.
We digress.
Seal the deal.
We digress. Right.
On to the next one.
Right. Mr. DC himself, Eric Joseph, what did you think about the Marvel Netflix offerings? What did you think? What was you most excited about?
I don't have Netflix, and Daredevil's one of my favorite Marvel characters, and I have not seen an episode of that show because I was waiting for a DVD release that never came, and there might be a UK release soon, but for those on this side of the pond, as it were, there's nothing on the horizon.
So you didn't see the stuff that came out this weekend?
I saw a snippet of the Luke Cage stuff, and that looked cool. Because there's so much to cover this weekend that I'm still
playing catch up a little bit.
Okay. I need to catch up on.
Okay, but you're a busy man. You're a busy man. I get it. You have to do a lot of writing. You have that massive stash of DC comic books that you have to read. That you always put on that you're always putting up on Facebook for everybody to kind of just be jealous over you about.
I will say that it's also a matter of who the characters are, because Daredevil and Punisher are some of my favorites, so I'm more prone to that. Luke Cage, I do have familiarity with. It's kind of like one of those characters, like, you're more so familiar with him from team-ups or crossover events, but I like the way they used his powers in the clips, and that's one I might take a little more interest, but Jessica Jones I don't care about. I especially don't care about Iron Fist. I've never cared for Iron Fist, so I guess I'll see him in the Defenders, but I don't think I can sit through 12, 13 episodes. Or one episode of Iron Fist. So.
Okay. Hey, Krusty, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Now I know you watched Daredevil earlier this year. You kind of binge watched it. You were feeling a little bit, but did you watch any of the Marvel Netflix trailers? Was there anything that you kind of liked? Just that face kind of says it all for me. So we'll move right along. Prodigy, what else did you see? Did you happen to go to any of the DC panels that came out this weekend? Did you happen to be blessed to actually see any of that stuff?
Yeah. So, in terms of DC, I missed several of the panels and probably saw some of the same stuff you saw. What really excited me was that Justice League action. I'm a big animated fan, so that looks fun. I know it has Wonder Woman in there and one of the Red Lanterns and Batman and Superman. That one looks incredible to me. My co-host on Black and Black Times Infinity actually attended the Flash and Arrow panel, and according to him, it was extremely fun as well. But I'm already on board with that, you know. And the other one was obviously Suicide Squad, which, you know, they are on money that first week in August. So I think DC did a great job. Everybody's still buzzing about Aquaman and Wonder Woman, and rightly so. But for the main part, again, for me, it's all about that animated stuff with them.
Now, I kind of neglected to even kind of talk about that because in the excitement of the Justice League, the Wonder Woman, the Aquaman stuff, the Flash, the Arrow, and all that kind of stuff, that surprisingly that kind of got lost in the shuffle. And you're right, I saw that trailer. They released that right after the panel was over, and I was digging it. That show, Justice League Action. I was very afraid that it was going to go down the path of Teen Titans Go and not really be, fun or engaging, or, for all ages, and not just cater towards the little little kiddies with some of the off-color humor and stuff like that. I'm kind of beyond a lot of that stuff, so I'm not really feeling it a lot. But the Justice League Action, even though the character design seemed kind of simplistic, it seems like the tone is going to be something that I can really dig. Who else on the panel got to see the Justice League trailer, Justice League Action trailer, and what you guys think of it? Really briefly, like a couple sections. What do you guys think of it?
I saw it. I'm going to go in with an open mind. I really don't dig Teen Titans Go, or even the original Teen Titans animated series, but Justice League Action shows promise. My main concern is with 11-minute run times, how much story you can squeeze in. But what I do like about it is that it's hitting at the right time. It's presenting the Justice League to the masses before the movie hits, which is a good move by WB. And I like how it taps into the DC universe seemingly as deeply as Justice League Unlimited and Brave and the Bold did. So it's going to bring much more than just Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman to kids and families and whatnot. And I think they said the format, it's almost going to be Brave and the Bold like, but you're going to see like one of the major heroes team up with someone a little more offbeat. Like they said, there's going to be a Batman Boost or Gold team up, but
okay.
It's going to be interesting to see where they go, like to see like who Superman or Wonder Woman will team up with eventually.
Right.
It could be a very fun series.
Yeah, it looks like it will be. It looks like it will be.
The storytelling needs to be there but I think these guys at WB might be able to do more in 11 minutes than the people doing Avengers Assemble can do in 22.
Yeah. Well, Kahuna, did you get to see it, and what did you think of it, real quick?
I didn't get to see it yet.
Okay. GQ, did you get to see it?
Yes, I saw it, and if people want a primer for Justice League, then they need to watch the original Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. That is the Justice League that people need to be aware of, not the children's kiddie versions. They need to see Conroy and Hamill and all of those people at their best, because that was the Justice League.
Hamill are in the news.
I understand that, but I'm talking about at their best, not doing kiddie stuff. At their best.
Dido, did you see it? What did you think of it?
Yeah. I most definitely did watch that trailer, and I don't know.
Oh, wow, really? What? You guys aren't feeling it? Really?
I haven't finished. Like, did I do a time skip again or something? I don't know what the hell just happened. I haven't finished talking.
All right.
What I'm trying to say is, it looks like they're trying not to do. They're trying not to be as dark as the past stuff at all. They're trying to be a little bit more, and I hate to say it but they're going to be compared to each other. It's trying to be a little bit Avengers-esque, because you had Batman. He's going around Tony Stark-ish, going around talking to everybody, and just the scene between the Flash and Batman, you see that they're trying to, do it a little lighthearted. I have a little bit more hope just by seeing that, because the darkness is not everybody in DC. We know this. Batman is dark. Superman is not. Superman should not be dark. The Flash is not a dark character. He shouldn't have to be dark. And hopefully the people that are writing it are doing it right. The trailer looked good. I'm not going to say I'm excited, because I don't get excited for DC movies. Because when you do, you get disappointed, and I'm not falling for it again.
Okay.
Suicide Squad, I'll be sitting there
I
watching.
think we just talked about 2 different Justice League trailers.
So wait, the episodes are
I think we are. We were talking about the animated part. The animated Justice League action.
I'm talking about the movie, man.
Well, I ain't even gotten there yet. How you even gotten there yet? You jumping ahead. What are you doing? Anyway,
you like the stuff from the 90s. All you nostalgia biters are gonna friggin' hate it, because you're wrapped up in the nostalgia. So whatever.
Man, I mean, dude, he's like, anyway, so since he provided yet another transition, why don't we go ahead and talk about the DC movies? Now, for me,
hey, hold on. Before we get to that, let me ask Prodigy something.
What's that?
Did you see the Ragnarok trailer, and how was it if you saw it?
Can I touch on something real quick with Ragnarok?
Yeah, do that.
Real quickly. I mean, for me, the biggest thing Ragnarok that lit up all of San Diego, and probably the whole internet that everybody's on the same page with, is when you see that Gladiator Hulk armor.
Yeah.
You just know, even though they didn't quote unquote confirm it, that World War Hulk is happening at some point in the EU, and I'm so damn ready for it. That's all I care about.
We'll
see. Give me Hulk in space smashing.
Yeah, that would be nice. We'll see about that. You're right. That Gladiator armor kind of did blow the internets up a little bit when they kind of teased that on the show floor. Even though we kind of didn't get to see anything on the internet, they're keeping that under wraps. And hey, they're Marvel, they can afford to do that. But DC, I think, needed to keep stacking some W's in the win column to kind of get some more public interest in some of their products, and I think they did that. And one of the things that carried the day for them was that Wonder Woman trailer, and I think that actually surprised a lot of people how good that Wonder Woman trailer was. Kahuna, what did you think of the Wonder Woman trailer?
Oh, it looked good. I mean, I'm with it. It looks pretty good.
Okay.
I can only watched it once. Most trailers I watch a bunch of times. Wonder Woman only watched it once, but hey, I'm over the whole Gal, whatever the hell how you pronounce her name. I'm over her not looking all the way to the part now. She's Wonder Woman. She's gonna be Wonder Woman for the next few movies, so I'm just gonna roll with it. She was cool in Justice League, the first movie. I mean, Dawn of Justice. She was good in that. And I'm just gonna roll with it. I mean, looks good to me.
Okay. And Dado, did you see Wonder Woman? What did you think of it?
I thought Kahuna was going to talk a little bit longer because I was going to pull it up, because I actually did not watch the Wonder Woman trailer.
All right, well, why don't you watch it and we'll come back to you. I almost shudder to have to go to this guy because I almost know what he's going to say. But
you know what I'm going to say?
No.
Give it a chance before you talk shit.
GQ, what are you going to say about this trailer?
I don't believe in giving anything a chance before I talk shit about it. Wonder Woman, she still needs to eat a sandwich. She still needs to hit the gym. She still needs to work on those legs, those arms.
Oh, man.
She still needs to work on that chest bust line. All of a sudden, suddenly the costume got really, really bright.
Really bright.
Gal Gadot still, again, does not fill out any outfit, any dress, anything. Plenty of women, bodybuilders, fitness models could have easily made that role look like. Again, I'm going to stick with it because if it'll be hypocritical if I suddenly change my opinion. I don't care how cool her music is. I don't care how much of her CGI stunt double does all of the very cool fight scenes. I am not impressed. And I will not be impressed until a woman that I find extremely attractive fills that outfit. Because Wonder Woman is supposed to be the perfect woman. And Gal Gadot is not the perfect woman.
Right? You might as well stop while he's ahead. Oh man. Oh man. See, I was afraid to go there. Okay. Eric, what did you think of the Wonder Woman trailer, my friend?
I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, first impression of it. I think Patty Jenkins, the way she's spoken of the character and the effect it's had on her, I think she's a director who's going to bring a lot of passion. It looks like the story's there. You know, we've got Themyscira, Steve Trevor. It really looks like it's going to be faithful. The cinematography is pretty spot on. The production design, everything points toward it being a solid film. I mean, we don't know the script, but I mean you know, as someone said moments ago, it was you know, we have Gal Gadot for a few more movies, and you know, I find her, you know, believable as Wonder Woman. But I mean, in Hollywood, you're not always going to have people that look like a cartoon character, so to speak. But the fight scenes look pretty cool, and I mean, although we saw snippets of her beating up enemy soldiers, it almost looks like that fight will do for her what the warehouse scene did for Batman and Batman versus Superman, because you know, for once we got to see Batman. Yeah, we got to see Batman do more than get in a fist fight for once. But yeah, the fight choreography, and then Justice League, of course, it was technically not a trailer. You know, it was more so just footage reel because they're still actively shooting, but at least we got some CGI in there, so we know Cyborg looks pretty badass.
Yeah.
I really like the Flash costume, but that's going to be like the first of two costumes he wears. And
let's not totally get ahead. Hold on. Let's not totally get ahead. Krusty, are you there? Is she there? Because I definitely want. Oh, there she is. There she is. I need you, as the only woman on this panel, I need you to tell me what you thought about the Wonder Woman trailer. Were you psyched for it? Are you hyped? Want to go see this movie? Speak. Well, come on.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
I did not see the trailer.
And she lets me down yet again.
I saw Doctor Strange.
Were you even surprised? I was waiting for those words to come out.
What was that other one? What was the other trailer that came out? Doctor Strange and something else doohickey?
Never mind. We'll get what you think about Wonder Woman later in this week.
We'll use the chat as her time. Because,
yes, please.
Let me see. A couple people out of the chat. Let me see. Rashid Adams checking in saying that he thought Iron Fist might be good if they play it like a modern Kung Fu: The Legend Continues, which would be awesome. I 100% agree on that. Anthony Mitchell said he was he was at the theater watching Batman Killing Joke, so that's why he's coming in a little bit late. That's awesome. Very cool, sir. Keith Britt saying that he's in reference to Ezra Miller as Flash. He says he's never seen him in anything. His initial reaction, which is almost wrong, always wrong, he says, was that he's terrible for the part, but he thinks he's going to be wrong again.
Okay.
And Anthony Mitchell is also saying that he thinks the Wonder Woman trailer is great. He's just concerned that all the special effects in this, with all the special effects, will the story actually be there? So, will they be able to balance the two?
Right. Okay, then let's transition real quick. Let's talk about that.
You want to transition? I finished watching the goddamn trailer. Yay! Applause.
Yay! Oh, all right.
That's my opinion. I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
It kind of reminds me of Captain America, the first Avenger.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm getting a feel from for whatever reason, and I know that's kind of strange, but besides all that, it looks like it could be an interesting, action movie, and I go into it with an open mind.
Yeah, I actually really liked it. But as Eric was kind of briefly starting to touch on, I think what really surprised everybody was the Justice League trailer, and I guess that was really their, their way and of course trotting Zack Snyder out there in front of the masses and making him do the hard left swerve from his Batman vs Superman and making him show saying, here, look, see, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can make a better Justice League film. You don't have to fire me, don't give me another chance, please, please, please. And some people are liking it, some people are not liking it. I, for one, I liked it for the most part, from what I saw. So, Prodigy, what did you think of the whole Justice League trailer? Coming out of Hall H. I mean, I know you probably didn't get to see it, but when you heard that it was there and you actually got to see it, what was your reaction to it? Your mic is muted for some reason, my friend. I don't know why.
I think she is going to. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I don't know if your connection is kind of a little bit, weak or whatever, but please do start over. What did you think of?
Okay, sorry, I was just saying that I'm a big fan of the Justice League trailer. I thought it was fun all the way around. A little iffy on everything that they're doing with the Flash because of how good the TV show is, and not seeing the Barry Allen that we're all used to is upsetting to me. But I think that a lot of people are going to have to eat crow when it comes to Gal Gadot. I think that she is going to be an impressive Wonder Woman. And for those that hate on her body, please tell me how much Michael Keaton could bench back in the day. Because he looked like I could.
Where's Becca Sean when we need him? Where's Becca Sean when you need him? Because this man needs to have a conversation with him. So yeah. What did you think of the Justice League trailer, Dado? Since you kind of almost really, for the most part, gave your thoughts back on the Justice League action commentary. Okay, so if you don't want to recap those thoughts,
I'm just gonna say 2 words.
What?
I liked it.
Good. Kahuna, what did you think of the Justice League trailer?
I said 3 words. I know I said 3 words. Thought somebody else.
Kahuna.
I liked it.
You what?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. And of course, like I've always said, I said Momoa was gonna bring it. He was gonna make Aquaman a bad motherfucker. And from the footage so far, that's what he's looking like. To me, it looks like Momoa is basically playing Momoa. Because the scenes that we saw, that's basically his characteristic. If you follow him on his socials, this motherfucker's a drinker. He's a beer connoisseur, a liquor connoisseur. So when they showed him drinking that that liquor bottle, throwing it on the ground, I was like, he just played himself. That's pretty much what he just did. Even the attire that he was wearing in the footage, that's actually what kind of clothes he actually wears. He wears like vintage, old style clothes, but for the rest of it, I liked it. You could tell they're going for a little more lighthearted, at least in that footage, and the footage that they showed us. They're going for a little, humorous, kind of lighthearted, trying to steer away from that DC dark. The Flash. I kind of like the way they're going with Barry Allen. Yeah, he's not the Barry Allen that we're all used to. A lot of us are not used to the Ezra Miller as far as his work, but the way that the way it looks that they're going with the Barry Allen character for this movie, he looks like whatever the way they're trying to portray him, Ezra looks like he's nailing it. The only thing I don't like about the Flash suit is kind of iffy. Them fucking shoulder pads. I don't know what's up with them damn shoulder pads, man.
This ain't the 80s, bro. This ain't
it looks
the
like
80s,
an 80s
man.
suit, man.
Yeah,
it looks
man.
like an 80s,
this ain't the 80s, man.
Suit. I don't know. If they took the shoulder pads off, like I was trying to visualize it without the shoulder pads, it would probably look a little bit better.
Hey, you know what the other thing I kind of didn't like about the whole Flash and the way or the way his powers, the whole lightning thing. Whenever he, even steps into the side, the lightning just courses.
Yeah, there's
off
like
of
lightning.
him.
Lightning
like,
is just everywhere every time he starts
really?
doing something.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that part. GQ, what'd you think of the Justice League thing?
I was gonna let Eric go. You always put the negative at the end.
Yeah, sure. Eric.
Well, as I was pretty much saying, it's kind of showing what footage they've had with a little CGI flourish because like I said, we got to see Cyborg, we see the Flash and his lightning, which is not yellow, but that's not really a complaint. But yeah, some people are complaining.
Of course they are. Of course they are. That's what
Yeah,
they do.
I've seen Ezra Miller talk about playing the Flash. I think it was on one of the featurettes on the Batman vs Superman Blu-ray. But he has a lot of passion bringing into it, and it's like I think Grant Gustin was saying that both of them have the equal interest in the Flash. They're just playing different versions of them. So I am very interested to see how his version of the character goes. But yeah, we see Batman's kind of got there are some changes. We kind of got to see how they interact. Also, speed-ups. I doubt they've really shot many big action pieces yet. We probably won't even know who we're playing the villains until the last minute. I think this is going to be like how we didn't know Josh Brolin was playing Thanos until right before
Very
Guardians
last
of
second.
the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I think that's how it's going to be for Steppenwolf, and we're all pretty smooth in some capacity. But yeah, I think that's because they're actively shooting. They haven't even cast the villains yet. I think it's going to be down the line for when they cast. But yeah, as the first reel, you can't really call it a sizzle reel because sizzle reels are made up of previously existing footage. But it definitely it got people talking about DC films in a much more positive light, and really that's what Warner Brothers needed after this weekend. And as comic book fans as a whole, we want DC and Marvel films to all be good. So it's that's even what the filmmakers say. The studio execs probably all hate each other, but the guys who actually direct DC and Marvel films actually want each other to be successful because as a whole of a genre, it's good for everyone. So I don't know. Maybe I'm going off on a tangent. We're talking about a few seconds,
Yep.
a few minutes of footage.
Well then, by all means, Mr. GQ, please now jump in and throw your negative haterade shade on Justice League.
It's not haterade if you speak the truth. First of all, starting off, Michael Keaton probably couldn't bench that much. However, after The Matrix, it became almost a mandate for actors to take their roles seriously, get in the gym, do the work, make your character look good. In comic book movies nowadays, Marvel has been knocking it out of the park, with the exception of their Captain Marvel casting. Everybody has been doing it on the side, and they've been looking good, and the characters have been pretty much spot on. Henry Cavill got in the gym. Ben Affleck got in the gym. Gal Gadot posed in the gym, but she didn't actually work out. So let's just the Justice League trailer
That
looks
was cold,
interesting.
man.
I'm supposed to be cold. It's part of the character. It's part of my lifestyle.
Yeah.
As far as the like Eric called it, the footage trailer, it's basically DC doing a 180. And all the fanboys that always said, "Oh, Marvel is so light and fluffy, and the jokes and the blah 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 blah," what are you saying now? Because DC is doing the exact same damn thing. So it is what it is. Justice League will be interesting because it has to be. They have no choice but to make it interesting. If they can't make that interesting with Batman, Superman, Aquaman, let me move Aquaman out of the equation. Aquaman has never been interesting. Batman, Superman, Cyborg, Wonder Woman, and all those characters, if you can't make that interesting, then you guys need to get out of the movie business. Period. End of story. Now, Bruce Wayne is looking an awful lot like Tony Stark when he approached the Flash, because pretty much the exact same parallel to the Spider-Man and Tony Stark interaction. That even came out of the chat. Anthony Minter said the exact same thing, basically. So it is what it is. People are going to copy. You got success, obviously. One did $1 billion this summer. One didn't. It is what it is. I'm always been straightforward about that. Will never be apologetic about that. You guys know that DC is on my hit list because you messed up Batman versus Superman, and you tried to bandage it up with a 30-minute edition, and that didn't do much of anything for me. So just
I have to disagree with the Gal Gadot thing. To me, I think she did hit the gym. She looks a lot bigger than she did in fucking Fast and the Furious. Fast and the Furious, she was a damn freaking toothpick.
Okay, so she's a toothpick.
You know, you
So
look at her legs are bigger. Some people, no matter how much they work out, no matter how much they eat, they just can't gain weight.
so she's a toothpick that got dragged through some peanut butter.
Okay. Okay.
She got bigger than what she was. I mean, I think she did the best she could. Like I said, some people can't gain weight no matter what they do, but she does
Then
to me
hire
look
someone
bigger
who
than she did
can.
in Fast and the Furious.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Prodigy upgraded to his webcam, which is great. Which is great. So obviously we've about run out of time, and we didn't get to really cover every single thing with San Diego Comic Con because there's going to be more. I know we're going to do a Wednesday show on San Diego Comic Con and touch on some of the other stuff that we didn't really get to. But let's finish up real quick. I want to get everybody's opinion. We didn't get to talk about the DC TV stuff at length, and I kind of really wanted to get into that. That's really important. We'll probably touch on that on Wednesday. But who do we think took the cake in San Diego Comic Con? It always comes back to this: Marvel or DC. One, in your opinion? GQ, go. One word.
Neither.
Neither. Fine.
Neither.
Fine. Prodigy, who won?
DC clearly won with their animated and with their TV series.
Done. Dido, who won?
I won.
Ooh.
There you go.
Because
All
I'm the one that's enjoying this shit. I don't
All
give a
right, good,
fuck.
good.
I
Yeah,
won.
all right. You know, next time I come to these little votes, I'm not coming to you. Eric, who won?
DC, but I'll just add one little detail, and maybe we'll elaborate it on Wednesday. Good weekend for movies and TV, bad weekend for comic books.
Very, very well said. Very well said. And it's ironic that you're saying that about a Comic-Con weekend. Krusty, who won?
I would say DC took the cake on this one.
Thank you,
The Justice League was enough for me.
Thank you, baby. I appreciate that. Kuna, who won?
I'm gonna go with DC on this one.
All right.
But we all won.
Yeah, we did all win. I will agree with that on that.
Exactly.
We all won. But who had the better overall weekend to me, it was DC in my opinion. Marvel didn't have to show a lot because they're Marvel, and we know they're gonna bring out quality stuff, and we'll see it when it's ready. But the company that needed to win this weekend won this weekend, in my opinion, and that was DC. So everybody out there, I hope you all had a really good time enjoying the show. Prodigy, I want to thank you for joining us, man. We have to do this again next time. You have to definitely be on your webcam next time when you do join us, so everything comes through nice and crystal clear, and we get a full view of that Lex Luthor head of yours, because it's actually very well shaped, my friend. Very, very well done. You look very much so like Lex Luthor from the '90s Superman animated TV show.
There we go. I like that.
Yeah, right. So next time, make sure you wear suit and tie and all that kind of stuff. And you have a blow up doll for Mercy as your stand-in. I'm not being judgmental or anything like that. I'm just saying.
That's my wife.
Here's the one thing though, in regards to DC versus Marvel, as far as how much was shown. Marvel already understands the one important thing: when you're important, people will wait.
Yep, that's very true. That's very true. But I mean, like I said, DC needed to do it because they needed to curry favor in their curry opinion in their favor, and they did it. So they won. They achieved their goal. So that's just me. But anyway, guys, we're gonna check you guys out later. We really thank you for joining the show. For all of you that kind of didn't get to hang in and watch the entire show, or you're just joining us late, the replay will be up in a few minutes. Please go back and watch the entire show. Once again, I want to thank Prodigy from Blacker Than Black Times Infinity Podcast for joining us today. We'll definitely have him on again at another time and for another topic. Eric Joseph, thank you always for joining us as always. For GQ, for Kahuna, for Krusty, and for the great Datakuji, I'm Kenshiro. We'll see you guys on Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good night now. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
I know that you'll be back.
Rusty,
Peace.
happy birthday to your husband, and you guys have a great date night out. You certainly spent your time
Thank you
going
very
ahead,
much.
looking pretty for him. So go ahead and do
I
that
try.
thing. I certainly hope that your water
Thanks,
doesn't break.
fam.
Yeah, I hope your water doesn't break while you guys are out. So yeah, I know
I hope his birthday
Thanks.
is nice.
it's nice. It's very
Shut up.
nice. Very nice.